Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castle and welcome to the shop. A couple of weeks ago we did a little something on making rings. And then I heard from you folks, the wood turners, and a couple of guys had some valid arguments or a discussion about it. I want to talk about it a little bit, so why don't you stick around and watch. We get into these projects, I try to tell you what I have, where I bought it from, how you can go about doing it. And I heard from you guys that said, I like the idea of the stainless steel ring. This is a stainless steel ring, and it has an acrylic, see the acrylic outer, which is a block I bought. But I can use wood because I have another one right here that I'm using a piece of, well, where is it? There it is. I'm using a piece of Coca-Cola on. Isn't that pretty? Now that's in the same type of ring. It's a larger size. That's for these big meat hooks. But there's these rings, and I heard from you saying, I'd like to do that, but I don't want to buy all the extra tools. What extra tools? Let's think about this for a minute. When I glued the block of acrylic or wood, it has to be seasoned in temperature, and if you can stabilize it. I glued it to a block of wood that was sticking in my chuck. Now this doesn't have to fit in a chuck. It can be on a faceplate, on a block, on a screw chuck, anything. It's just a block of wood, and you face it off, and then it face off. You take a scraper and scrape it flat, dead flat, no recesses, dead flat. And then when you glue onto it, you cut everything you want to be the ring out and you take it off. Don't undersize this when you build it, because this has probably done 50 of those ring type projects. And I just keep sizing it off and use it again and again and again. In fact, when I finish up here today, I'm gluing up another block of acrylic because management will like another one. She just got this pink one and she likes like a better one. All right, now, once you get it turned, it looks like this. I'll have to zoom in again. That's what it looks like. I've turned it and took it off. See, it's a little bit off center because I was playing around with something. I need to make this into this. Oh yeah, easily possible if you hold it. So I showed you once before how you take a adjustable pen mandrel and you put these two spacers on, and this is what you use to hold the pen. See the two spacers? Right? Now this is a simple holding jig. It's got a hole in it, you can hold it. But let's take it off and put on this one wrong size, because they make these adapters in several sizes. I'm going to put this one on that belongs to management. I'm going to slip it on there. It'll fit. That's the right size spacer, and bring it up. And these are no glue contact spacers, so I don't have to worry about them sticking to the ring and the adhesive or anything else. Now, what I've just told you is you got a $30 mandrel, and you got $15, $20 worth of spacers. Then you get these two bushings and this big nut and this rod and all that stuff. Not really. Come on, let's cut to the chase. I don't get gift cards from any of the catalog services at all. So I have no discretion when it comes to telling you you can save money at this. Yes. How? Do you have a drill chuck that fits in your lathe? Your drill chuck goes in. You get a piece of 1/4 rod that sticks out, and you buy that at the hardware store, or cut a bolt off. You got a piece of rod sticking out, then you put the mandrels and stuff on. Cut them out of a piece of corian. Just a scrap of corian. You can get that at Home Depot or Lowe's. A little scrap of corian, and you put the holes in them, and then you round that, and use that to hold the piece. And to keep it from spinning, you put an acorn nut on it, a little crown nut. Put an acorn nut on it, bring the tailstock up to it. That will hold the piece for what you're doing. It'll hold it true and exact. No worry, no problems, no spinning or nothing. It'll be right on the money, right where you want it, right when you want it, and it works just fine. Just save you with 30. You owe me $5 for that idea. Skip to another day because I did the edit and I didn't like what I saw. So we decided to come back and do it again. We talked about using a pen mandrel with these two fittings on it to hold the pens. Here's the deal. If you guys that are economy that are just like I am, you gotta watch your nickel, make sure I get the penny back. They have two different sizes of these bushings that you hold the pens with. I'm going to close up in a minute and show this to you. But the large ring, I don't remember where the break comes at, but they say there's a medium ring and a large ring. And I wear the large ring. My wife wears the medium or petite little ring. They can't both be held by the large fittings because you can't get to them to work on them. See, that's the small ring, and you got more bushing than you need. And then we swap over and go to the large ring, and you can get around and work on it. Well, I have two fixes for you. Number one, we're not going to buy both. We're not going to buy both sides of these rings. Number one, they're black. You drop them on the floor, you got to find them. Don't leave them down there because then you won't find them. Number two, you only need one. You need the large one. Why? Now I got to show you how to cut it. Let's talk about how this works. These are the two bushings. When you push them up against a pen ring, see that? The bushing will be a little bit smaller than the ring. Just a little bit. It'll press on the ring, but it can't be small enough to fall inside of it. So that's why they have small, large, and maybe even mediums or whatever. But I want to get down to about this radius. I've got all this plastic. So what do? Well, we will take and remove this corner. Oh, I love this pen. I got this from one of you guys. I got my making shavings on it, got my ugly mug on it and all that. Yeah, beautiful. All right, I take this corner down to make this adapter fit for small rings. And then I'm going to take this corner down for the same reason, to make this side fit for smaller rings. You see where I'm going? All right, now you know where I'm going. Let's get there. Shields up. Now I'm not between centers. See how much bounce I had? I'm going to roll up the one way. There it is. Make contact with the center. Then I'll go back and recut this. I'm using a little Robert Sorby multi-tool. What are the dimensions? Well, I'm going to show you in a second. We're going to stop this thing and I'll show you how we're going to figure that out. But it's a soft product. It cuts very nicely. And I'm going to get it back away from the shoulder a little bit so it works. Now I'm going to check it. Roll back my tailstock. This is not a pain, but if you got to spend $5 or $6 for these adapters, it's worth the savings. You see, when I bring up the smaller ring, this is her size 8 or 9, whatever, I can adjust that rub to where I can put adequate pressure on the sides to hold it, and then get down and do my truing, shaping, sanding, polishing, buffing, and everything else using the same ring that I can flip around the other way and do my big rings with. Alright? Now, I'd show you the big ring. That's a story you got to hear. This is now my double-sided ring holders, sizers. This one's slightly sloped and it'll hold up to, I'll wear 14. This one will go down to about an 8. Same thing on this one. So when they go together, my 8mm ring will fit in between them, and I can squeeze them and do just what I showed you a minute ago. But if I'm got to do the big ring, I'd flip them around and that would hold my big ring and let me do the same thing. We started this out, I was telling you that I could save you some money. Well, you now don't have to buy 2 sets of these. You could buy 1 set, make it work for small and large. It's okay to do it. And glue and finish doesn't stick to this and clean up real quickly. All right, so then you put that on your pen mandrel with the bushings and hold the small rings and the large rings. And I guess you could play with this and come up with a little bit more. But I said save money. Let's talk about really save it. No, can't do that. First, I got to tell you the little thing about the rings. I showed you the wife's ring and how it fit on the mandrel very nicely. And it did nice. And I had my ring to show you how it worked. And my ring was sitting here, and then I sneezed, and the ring went to the floor. We hadn't found it yet. It's down. This ain't a big floor. It's down there, and I blew the shavings around. I didn't do it anyway either. And you can't use the magnet to find it. We tried that. It's stainless steel. I don't have one that seeks out plastic or acrylic. But it's here. Didn't get out the door. I was washing the door. But now let's talk about saving some real money. Let's build our own rig for this. We just did this a minute ago, but I'm going to start it over again. This is my drill chuck. I have it in the drill right in the lathe right now. I put a wing nut on it because I had that available. Then I put a spacer on it. Then I put on a scrap of corian that on 8-sided, a little bit over an inch in diameter. I have another bushing, but that could be anything for bushings. Another scrap of corian, a couple of washers, whatever. And then I brought up the second wing nut because I want to squeeze these two together. Got that? To hold this thing in place. Now, how do I keep this from jogging around? I'm going to show you. This is a cute trick. That's easy if you have it. I have a one-way revolving center, and it's got a hole in the middle of it. That hole will go right there. Right there. Now, if that doesn't work for me, I can always turn a soft touch. Just had it in my hand a minute ago. So, you know, I cheat whenever I can. The soft touch is a good idea, but I'm going to take my regular revolving center, take that pin out, I'll put an acorn nut on this. I picked this up at the hardware store, at the Ace Hardware. Then I'm going to bring this down and put some bearing on it, right there. Now watch it spin. True as true can be, right? Now let's make our bushings. Cheat whenever you can, just don't get caught. I'm getting a little wobble out of this. Just so I can feel it. My leg's touching the lathe and I can feel the vibration. But as I get the 8 sides cut down, I'm feeling less and less vibration, which means it's running true. And this is just with my roughing guide. Straight across and smooth. Raise the shield. Now I'm ready to put my little angle on it to size my ring. Show you how we do that. To check the ring size, I'm going to have a calibrated measuring device, and I'm going to look at the span of the ring. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Don't worry about what the reading is. That's not important. You want to do this for a ring you're cutting. Okay? Now, I know what that size is. And trust me, guys or gals, I'm very careful about where this ring goes now, because I can't. If I don't find that one, I got to move. Well, I'm going to look at that size. Stop the lathe, take a look at it. And that means I got to take it down about 1/4 inch or so, right up in there. All right. Don't worry about the 1/4 inch or so. That's all gauged according to your ring size. Shield up. Put my 2 bevels on this, and it's on the outsides, all right, which is the exact opposite of what I want. But here's the deal. It's easy to cut that way. Take off my nut. Don't want to drop a nut. Take this off. Let me get this out of the way. All right, take this off. And I didn't do it with the pair of pliers, but it's snugged up a little bit. I take that, and you could use a 1/4-20 square screw, hex screw, whatever you got. Take this off. I'm going to take these off. Flip them around. Flip it around. Whoop, nope. I want to flip it around. I want to bring this up and see how am I doing size-wise. Let's get in closer so you can see how I'm doing size-wise. I don't care what the old girlfriend told you. Size does matter. All right, this, I could probably go down a little bit more to hold it, because what I want to do is I want to squeeze this stainless steel ring. I don't want to squeeze the epoxy. I want to squeeze the where's that? I want to squeeze the stainless steel ring, pardon me, when I bring the bushing up and the lock nut, and then this will spin. I can get rid of all this extra material I don't need if it's in my way. I can cut it right away, or I can cut it on the angle for a big one and save finding 2 more scraps of coriander to make this out of. Well, there you have it. That's a squeezing mandrel made out of a piece of 1/4-20 rod, 2 scraps of coriander, a couple of I'm putting this ring over here on the table so I don't drop it. A couple of scraps of coriander, a couple of bushings that I had left over from old Ken kits, but no magic to that. A couple of wing nuts, but you could use any 1/4-20 nut you got. In fact, this thing could be a section of bolt. If you got a long 1/4-20 bolt around that you can use it, just take the head off. Put that on, then I put the cap nut on it. Remember, we could have done this with a soft touch, and then I could bring my tailstock up to it, stabilize this, eliminate this shimmy right here, and I put my ring in there, true it up, polish it, cut it down to, remember it's rough size when you put it in there. I can cut it down to the right size, true up the shoulders, put the crown in it that I want. If I want to put a line in it, put a line in it. Management's telling me no lines. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to make me a new ring because still don't see mine. Or the chuck key. All right. But you can get all that done right here. What have you invested? 1/4-20 bolt, a couple of screws you had, spacers with your washers. Scraps could make those bushings. The acorn nut could be the soft touch. You got next to nothing in this. Price is out against an adjustable center, an adjustable mandrel, bushings, soft touches, etc., and then throw a little more, etc., on top of it. It's the economical way to go about this. And that's what we're out to do. Show you how you can save a few bucks and still do these honeydew, let's make points challenges or projects. And hey, whatever you turn, they're going to like it. You want a real kung fu in your life? I asked my wife to give me back the ring I made her. I could have asked to unmarry me and get less of a look. No, you're not getting it back. Why do you want it back? What's going on? It's gonna, go put rings on it? No, I just wanted to use it for this. I want to show it tomorrow at the gallery at the club. Oh, at the Bayou Woodturners Club. Because I like these things, and they're soft. They're nice. They're gentle. They're little things you can make. Oh, I need to clean that bed again, all over again. The things you can make in your shop to make other people happy. It makes you happy, doesn't it? Oh, by the way, if you need me for something, I had a guy call today. We talked about chucks and rubber bumpers on homemade longworths and all that. I have kits like that on my website, www. Right there, see that? www.eddiecastellan.com. Well, that's where I sell cutters. I have templates. I have the bearing stuff. I have combinations. But we do a la carte. Whatever you want, we put it together for you. It's myself and management, and that's all there is to this company. And we very much appreciate all the business that you give us. And when you call, we'd love talking to you. In fact, you talk to me most of the time. Except the rule is I don't talk if I'm driving. Why? Because I've got a hard time driving. But if you need something, give me a call. Let's talk it through. You ever have a problem? We fix every problem. We had a guy call us a couple of months ago that he didn't get the parts and pieces, the cutters. Will we give him a refund? He thinks they weren't in a package. We did a little research on it. We had proof that it wasn't opened and it was good shape and all. Well, about a month went by. Then he called back and said, look, if I mail you back these cutters, can I get a refund? Did I miss something? Think about that for a minute. You didn't have them, but now you want to return them? It's like free's not free. All right, we're a little bitty business. Every time somebody does that to us, that steals out of my lunch money. Really. But now the guy's asking for a refund, and it's been so long that I have to get him a personal debit thing and send it out to him. We're going to make it good by what we received back. We didn't get all that we wanted back. So we'll prorate it and give him what we can for the refund. But we went from, it ain't here, can I get a credit, to, can you give me money for these back? And I know it's missing. One of each cutter is missing because he decided, I don't want 3 of each. And when my boss found out what I paid for it, they got a fit, and I got to live here. So, hey, if we can help you, we will help you. If you can help us, we know you'll help us. You've been there ever since. All right. Hey, don't forget about SWAT, end of August 2019, Waco, Texas. It's right in the middle of the world. You go, the Waco is right in it. Measure it out. It's right in the middle of the world. Go there. See the finest wood turning symposium in the entire world. I'll be there giving away stuff. We don't sell there. We give away stuff there. That's what we're there for. To thank you for saying hi. All right. Well, you say hi. I got to say hi because it's getting chilly. I got to get the skull cap back on. And I got to put things away. I got some things to polish up because I'm going to get right back to making shavings. That's it. Making shavings. Take care. Be good. Nice seeing you again.